before. This is why you schedule so tough. So you get to these moments, you feel like you have your team prepared. I assume that's how you feel heading into this region.
Oh, yeah, they're prepared. They've had a lot of trials, tribulations. Just the latest trip going to LSU, right, in Baton Rouge, and then going over to, play in the Conference USA Championship tournament. There was a lot involved, not just on the field, but off the field, even travel, a lot of stuff that went on. But I tell you, God's got a plan, and we got to trust it. And it's just so great to see them today at practice, too, just how energized they are. They're excited. They've worked hard for this. And we have come a long way as well when you look at the beginning of the season to here. But our tournament, our schedule has been challenging as it is every year. And I think the most recent RPI 32, is that right, Joe? So the key is that this squad is coming together at the right time. And I've been telling you guys, we haven't been on all four cylinders for a while. So it's nice to see things come together. And in order to continue to move, we have to have it all, all four cylinders, because we got some great competition ahead of us.
What is, in a regional, what do you feel like is the key to succeeding there that's maybe different from any other situation?
The key to a regional is to be able to kind of compartmentalize anything that can be distracting, whether it's on social media, whether it is media in other forms, just the excitement, everybody just building it up so much that players might want to make it bigger than what it should be, because it's really about the game. And the teams that win are those teams that are able to stay together, keep their culture strong, selflessness, excitement, they're in every moment. And I've always said that you can just be just one with the ball. Nothing exists but the ball. And when that happens on offense and defense, great things will happen. And it's really about giving it all you have, playing the game with no would-haves, should-haves, or could-haves. And when you do that, you win, whether the score says it or not.
Along those same lines, I feel like the program has shifted now to where you're not just happy to get there, but you want to make noise, you want to stay there, you want to keep advancing. Do you sense
Amen.
You sense a feel of like some kind of pressure, or maybe a small chip to say, all right, let's not just get there, let's keep going, let's keep making it further?
Well, the easiest thing to do is to look forward too much. As a coach, you have to a little bit, but the reality is you need to be ready for now. The players have to be in the present. But we have experienced regionals in a big way. It's getting to be expected, as you just mentioned. We've had some big wins in regionals, taking down the number 1 seed or number 2 seed. Duke, at Duke, for example, we faced Georgia, and we beat them once, but then we lost. I think the game was, 12 or 1 in the morning. That was one of those games. Taking down UCLA was, and I can go on and on, Tennessee, South Carolina. But you got to finish the job. So our goal right now is to say, we've got some great competition. I think this Athens Regionals is going to be very strong. And there's people that are going to feel very comfortable being there because the travel's not too far. And some highly, ranked teams that have deserved to be there. So it's going to be one game at a time. But you bet how sweet it would be to be able to play all four cylinders and be the best team. But I've always said, got to play the best, right? To become the best, to improve that you deserve to be there.
You've seen the Charlotte team already this season. What's different about your team now at this point as they were, when they played in the first time?
Well, what's different about our previous game with Charlotte, we went there and played last year at their place and beat them. They came here and we were able to beat them here. But during that game, there were a lot of errors that were done. I think we have a lot more experience now that we needed. Our team needed to get a lot of games and a lot of wins under their belt. And so as you look at, we're in a great trajectory, and I would say most teams are that make it to regionals. So the key is for the team to be able to just, again, not look at who the opponent is, but just play the game to the best of their ability. And if that happens, and hopefully both teams do, the better team for that day, will move on. So I'm excited. There's nothing that will be a surprise to us, or even for Charlotte about us. We have seen each other enough.
Coach, you talked about the mental toughness of your team. It would have been easy for them to maybe get down or fold a little bit after that opening loss in the conference tournament. But honestly, they played some of the best ball, in recent memory during that stretch to get to the title.
Yeah, the Conference USA's championship tournament, we lost that first game against New Mexico State, who's a very good squad. And the key is, they're playing at home and very familiar with it. For ourselves to come out they had a game under their belt as well. So when we came out and they were just crushing the ball, well-deserved victory on their end. But also it took us a little while, to when the altitude we were at, a lot of different stuff, it affects people differently. And so I was so proud of our team to not make excuses and to be able just to battle. And it took a battle. And when you were there, I mean, you realize it was a battle. And the fun thing is they were ready for it. And when you win the little battles, eventually you win the war. And so right now, an automatic bid to where we're at, I think we would have been probably selected anyway. If we hadn't have won, I didn't want to tell the players that, but, because of our RPI, but you never know. So it's great to be able to control your own destiny in that regards.
Elaine was in here earlier, and she's had a terrific month of May. She said she feels like the pitching staff is together, is pitching some of the best they have all year. Well, what do you say to that?
Oh, I agree. I mean, we wouldn't be where we're at right now if it wasn't for her. And then you can look throughout the season, we wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for others as well. So I'm so proud of how she has responded. When we played Oklahoma at Oklahoma, we played them twice. And when I looked at E's hand, it was very swollen. And she is supposed to be having surgery in the summer. And I was like, you can't pitch for a while. And I said, you can't. We need you to the end of the season. That's the most important part. And so she was able to get treatment and everything, and now has just been thrown phenomenal over the past, 3 to 4 weeks. And then we had our freshmen, Katie Love, as well as, Kaylin Yoder, be able to step up when we needed it the most in the circle. We did not have a lot of experience because we had lost our fifth year, pitcher in the circle. And so it's amazing when you really look at it, God, how competitive they really are. And they're still very young. But with E, she pitched against us at the conference championship at the ASUN last year and beat us. So to have her want to be with us, right, and transfer to us was really a blessing. I was like, Lord, you're taking care of us again. And she has proved to do it and do it in a big way. And she was out here waiting, for the interview. And this is just so awesome. It's just so great. They have dreamt of being here. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here, because that's really what it's about, is to show the gifts God has given these young ladies, all these teams, and when you talk now, the top 64 in the country, and for us to be able to, get on a platform where a lot of people are going to be watching every second. I want our team to enjoy every second along with them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been here 11 years, 4 straight NCAA tournaments and at-large last year. It's kind of a weird question. Do you have the same feelings that you have when you make the tournament for the first time, you see your name pop up, and kind of coming off of that, what is it going to take to continue to keep this run going on? I mean, obviously, it's a great run you're on. So.
Well, I am always excited to be on the field, whether it's practice or, as we're talking about now, with regionals. And I think you have to have that passion for the game, right? And you don't really focus on the outcome. You focus on the experience, right? It's like we have been given a gift to be able to play a sport that we have a passion about, right? And I mean, right now, I can't play. I'm coaching, but I'm able to share a lot and able to help bring a team together with the staff we have as well. And I'm just telling you, it's so when we saw our name up there, the funny thing is we thought we'd be at UCLA because UCLA's regional started listing every team that it was there last year, right? And then here's Virginia Tech having to go across country like we had to. I said, man, they must love Virginia teams to send them out to that regional, right? But it was funny because each team, like here's Grand Canyon and there's San Diego State, and we're like, and they all looked at me like, Coach, are we going to go to UCLA again? I'm like, I don't know, right? But it's fun. It's like exciting to see who's matched up and what's going to happen and what could happen. But the reality is you got to make it happen, right? You got to be there, slow the game down, and trust the gifts you've been given. You do that and play with the freedom. That's what Lord wants you to see. Give him the praise, give him the glory. We all should, no matter what team, right? But I can tell you that to see where Liberty softball started, where when I got here 11 years ago, to where it is now, we've already mentioned the expectations are, it's not, I think the whole country knows that Liberty softball is on the map, right? That we have an opportunity every year to be in regionals. And now let's get to that next step. One pitch at a time.